So very pleased to welcome. I'm Barbara Mowat. I'm the founder and president of Grow Your Biz. And on the line, we have the lovely Maura Catchy, who is our managing director since 2012 with Ontario and Eastern Canada, as well as a chair. Could not do this without lovely Marg. And I actually am pleased to introduce Teresa, who has been doing a lot of international seminars for our other global virtual board that is out of Edmonton, Lynn. So you need to know that part, Lynn, because I know you're in Edmonton, and I'll introduce you. Teresa is a specialist in commercial intelligence, and she has been dedicated for the past 20 years in international trade. And I actually met Teresa through LinkedIn because I was intrigued by her book on international trade. And, her company she's the founder of Mujer Exportador. And I never say that correct, but it really just means export women and export women. And she has practical experience with many tools and trade systems, all to deal with international trade, from customer search, opening new markets, international negotiation, trade barriers, distribution channels, promotional actions, intercultural, and really has focused on gender as well. So we have been asking Teresa in one of our other boards as our trusted advisor to often come in and just take sections of these specialties. And so today's session is really about, give us an update on women in international trade. What are the organizations doing for different women in international trade? What are the different negotiation styles? A little bit about international marketing and promotion, cultural differences, and an overview of trade fairs. And so what I'm going to ask all of you to do is, because there's a lot to cover today in 1 hour, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. We'll address many of them at the end. And then Teresa will also provide her own email and follow-up that you can do directly with her, as well as definitely with your own chair. And I just see another wonderful chair has come on. Susie Graff is the chair for both Vaughan, Ontario, and Aurora, Ontario. And we do have a lot of women that are doing international trade, and that's why we had a lot of people that have signed up for this and will watch it according to their time. So without further ado, Teresa, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Barbara. It's always a pleasure, to be with you, to help grow your business in anything. Barbara, you are a superb woman connecting all of us, all around the world. And I really appreciate all your help. And well, here I am with a new webinar for you all.
This is the first of many that you'll do for everyone.
So here we are going to talk today regarding women and international trade. That is my specialty. Okay. Well, here you have my name. My name is Teresa. Okay. Here, as Barbara has said, here you have all the information to be in touch with me with any query, and I will be very happy to help you in anything. This is my email, teresa.guillen@mujerexportadora.com. My LinkedIn, that's how Barbara and me went in touch. My Skype, well, all the details you have there for any query, okay? Please do be very happy. I mean, I will be very happy to answer you any question. What is a Mujer Exportadora is like, let's say, like the commercial unit of one company, which is called SP Consultores. Consultores is a consultancy of competitive intelligence in international trade. What we do is we provide programs of international trade.
I have to interrupt, Teresa. Do you have the Spanish one on, not the English one?
This is the English. This is the English. Okay. Sorry, just the titles of the web pages, because they are in Spanish.
No, I just saw the down below, and I know that I received that in English at some time. So go ahead.
No, This is the English one.
Okay, good,
Okay.
good.
So SB Consultores is a consultancy of competitive intelligence for international trade. What we do is we provide to the organizations of promotion of commercial promotion, okay, the TPOs, we provide them with programs for them to use it to help SMEs to export, okay? But my specialty from 4 years now is gender, okay? I've been working on gender issues, you know, for 4 years. And what we are going to talk today, okay, I will introduce you, first of all, what I'm doing right now with regarding the strategy of Spanish programs for helping women in international trade. But the workshop contents for today also, it will contain the negotiation, international marketing, all for from a gender perspective. Okay, we'll talk regarding international negotiation. Okay, we'll talk about the different styles and tools of women. We'll talk also about the importance of interculturality, and regarding international marketing from a gender perspective, we will talk about the segmentation and we'll talk about promotional activities. There's going to be a lot of content, but do not worry. Well, as Barbara said, this is going to be recorded. So if you have any query, you can go back to this video, or also you can contact me. Okay. So regarding this issue, this subject of international trade and gender, how did it start? Well, it started in Spain, okay, due to the Ministry of Equality asked me to prepare a benchmarking of international, what activities, internationality, all the organizations were doing. For what? To have a look, to see all this benchmarking, to see all these activities, initiatives that the other organizations internationally were doing, and to see, you know, what would be a need to provide in Spain. Okay, so that's why we started. I started 3 years ago a benchmarking to have a look what was going, what other organizations were doing to help women in international trade. So it was a little bit of a chaos in the beginning because all the information, it was mixed up. Okay, so leadership, entrepreneurship, international trade, everything was mixed up. So for doing this benchmarking, I had to, first of all, to think about which areas of analysis I was going to introduce in the benchmarking. Okay, secondly, to do the process of benchmarking. The benchmarking consists in to compare the different initiatives with different rankings. Okay, and with which purpose? The purpose was to give recommendations for action in Spain. So this benchmarking at this moment is the basis of two ministries working together, which is the Ministry of Equality and the Ministry of Commerce in Spain, okay, working together to develop initiatives to help women, Spanish women, in international trade, based in this benchmarking. And why I'm talking about this benchmarking? Because Canada is inside of this market, is this benchmarking. Also, Grow Your Biz is mentioned in this benchmarking. And many organizations that you might already know. Well, so so to define these areas, so I had to do two first axes, okay? The first axis was programs and training, and then I have to develop another axis that it was promotion and dissemination of these initiatives. So the first axis was divided also between sub-axes, okay, to get all this information organized, okay, because as I told you before, it was all mixed up. So which were going to be the most important subjects to pick up, to collect all this information? Well, first of all, public procurement. Why public procurement in this benchmarking of international trade for women? Because the governments are the biggest buyers, okay, in the world. So secondly, Private contracting. Why private contracting? Because secondly, the biggest buyers are the multinationals. Isn't it right? Right. And also third, certifications. Why? For women to be certified, to guarantee these buyers, these big buyers, that they are qualified and they have the possibility to offer the products, properly, and the services. And of course, the fourth subject between these axis of business support programs, it was free trade agreements. Free trade agreements, why? Because they are very important, the free trade agreements, to have a look the impact on women, okay? It's very important because they affect us, our businesses. When there's a free trade agreement between countries, they do affect our businesses. So there's very important to have a look through the impact of these new free trade agreements in our companies of women-owned businesses. Okay, the sub-axis of training and information has different pillars like training, mentoring, toolbox, and finance. And also the second axis. The second axis is promotion and dissemination, the promotion and dissemination of these initiatives of these organizations. First of all, the first sub-axis of promotional activities includes forums, trade missions for women, networking platforms, awards and honors, the sub-action of diffusion, virtual networking platforms, diffusion systems, and social networks. Okay? So with these pillars, settle down these pillars, I started investigating different organizations internationally that they were doing actions helping women in international trade. I studied around 20, but which ones are in the benchmarking? In the benchmarking are just 16. Why 16? Because, sorry, 12. 12. Why these 12? These 12 are the ones that they cover mostly, not all the axes, but at least most of them. Okay, so they're the other ones. So first of all is ITC, International Trade Center, that I don't know if you know, it belongs to Nations Union and also to the organization, the International Organization of Commerce, okay? It is based in Geneva, in Europe, and the director was Arantxa, and now Arantxa is nowadays the Foreign Affairs, Minister of Foreign Affairs in Spain, okay? Then secondly, I studied in this benchmarking the European Commission. Why? Because they are working very hard in including the impact of the new free trade agreements of the European Union for women, okay? Just looking through the impacts for women. There it goes Canada. Canada is studied, is included in the benchmarking with the Canadian, with the business women in international trade that belongs to the Trade Commissioner of Canada, okay? And also we have We Connect International, which is a certification company that is certifying companies in Europe, okay? Settled in the United Kingdom, has offices in Holland, in Germany, in different, but not in Spain yet. Then also, it is included other organizations of trade promotion from different countries like Malaysia, like Australia, Argentina, Chile, Peru, but also OWID, the Organization of Women in International Trade, which is the first organization of covering, this subject that is in helping women in international trade is also included. Also, the Inter-American Development Bank that has made very important initiatives in Latin America, basically, and also the Asian Economic Pacific. Okay, these organizations are the ones that they have been investigating in this benchmarking. Okay, so and what I have to do, what I would like to tell you is that OWID got a very high score because due to the two axes included. One is regarding, well, all the awards, all the promotion initiatives, the commercial missions that they do, the webinars in training. I mean, lots of activities that OWIT includes has been very well scored in this benchmarking. Yeah? So OWIT and Business Women International Trade from Canada are the ones that have scored very high ranking, very high, they got very high score. Well, but this is an introduction, okay, because I don't want to be longer, but just for you to know the pillars of international trade from the gender point of view, okay? You know, public procurement, all these axes, all these pillars that all the information, all the activities are concerned about. Okay, but let's go to international negotiation. I always start with this slide, which I think it is very representative because you can see there, well, what is the representation of women shared by sector, which means that more than 60% of women work in services, less in agriculture, and very little in industry. Okay, so we are based in services. So it is important, you know, because it will lead us to all the activities that we should help with women in international trade, okay? And also regarding women in leadership, we can say that in the parliament, internationally, the 23% are women, but as CEOs are just only 4%, which is very, very little, okay? The same happens in international trade. I've been working, as Barbara said, in international trade more than 20 years, going to different countries. I've visited, well, I've been working in all continents and in different countries, more than 50 countries all around, and traveling by myself, and I couldn't see many women. So that's why after I left the last company as an export area manager and decided to start, you know, with my business, with my investigation of women in international trade, because I would like to have more women in this sector, okay, which is international trade. And this organization that I told you before, that it belongs to United Nations and to the Commerce Organization, International Organization, okay? I have to change, you know, the words in Spanish from English. And well, the ITC did an investigation regarding how non-tariff barriers affected to women, okay? And in this investigation, it is very clear that it says, well, it's called Unlocking Markets for Women to Trade. You can find it, okay, by internet. It's very easy to find it, and it's very interesting because the main findings from ITC about these non-tariff measures are, first of all, that there are less women participating in international trade. Okay, also it has been a study, an investigation in Europe, and only very little women in Europe, from between all the exports of Europe to third countries, only we are not even the 18% of these exports, okay, made from women, which is is a pity. So it is like this. I mean, all around the world, there are less women participating in international trade. If the women work in international trade, for example, in departments of international trade, are in larger companies or also public companies, okay, organizations, big organizations, if they are owners, normally these businesses are very little, like micro SMEs. And of course, women and men, well, in this investigation resulted that we work in different sectors. Normally, more women in textiles and more men in this industry, as we have seen before, and so on. So there are still jobs that they are considered for men and jobs that they are considered of women, which is very sad, isn't it? Well, what else? Why is that? Because women exporters, we find obstacles to trade. Which are these obstacles, as this investigation from the International Trade says? Well, due to regulatory obstacles, Of course, maternal obstacles. I think, maternal obstacles are very important for international trade because we travel a lot. We travel a lot. If we are pregnant, we are going to have babies and the babies are little. Well, there's a problem. There's a query there's a question that we have to ask to each one, work or family, But, well, from my point of view, if you get organized, you can do both and you can be happily in this profession. But we will talk about this later. Well, it is also there are problems, cultural problems. What is a woman doing alone, traveling abroad, and without her family? Where are her children, and so on? Okay, these are cultural problems that you have. Financial access, of course, women, we don't go to banks, okay, normally. We don't trust banks because banks haven't got products for women, okay, in international trade, not yet in Spain. Access to networks and market information, there's less access to networks and market information nowadays, thanks to initiatives like Grow Your Biz, like Organize OWIT, like all these organizations are making the access to networks and to market information easily to all of us. Skills. Okay, nowadays it is proven that we are at university, there's even more percentage of women than men at universities, but still there's a lack regarding skills, technical skills for international trade. Okay, and it's very important for example, for calculating for the price for export in the end, because if you don't know technical issues of logistics, if you want, when you are going to negotiate with the logistics, you will get worse price. So this price will be added to the final price, export price, and we will be less competitive than our men, our partners, okay? So it's very important to develop these technical skills in international trade. Disclosure policies, of course, and in the end, well, what this investigation finds is that the non-tariff measures affect more women than men. Okay, it's what the ITC says. How to overcome these obstacles, these barriers to trade, to international trade for women? Well, very important, new policies and legislation, okay? Helping women in international trade. As for example, I remember 2 years ago, the budget of Canada was given money from the budget, from the national budget, to help women for commercial missions, to go from Canadian women to go in commercial missions to Europe, to take advantage of the free trade agreement with Europe, okay, the CETA, okay. So it's very important. All the organizations, all the government to give new legislation and to have new policies for women in international trade. As of course strategies. We are at this moment in Spain working in the strategies to develop activities for helping women in international trade. Okay, the connectivity, Barbara is an expertise of connectivity with women, okay? It's very important to put the networking, to put all of us together to help all of us growing and to work in international trade. Public procurement open doors, okay? We have been talking about public procurement. The biggest buyers internationally, okay? The biggest importers are the governments. Okay, very important, helping women to be close to these public procurement possibilities. Financial initiatives, we said, okay, there are not many products, for women in international trade from the banks. Training and promotion, here we are in a training and promotion webinar or workshop. Very important, that's why I put it in color. And private contracting, we said, also the multinationals, they are very good, very big importers after the governments, okay? They are huge importers for different things that women can provide them with. Okay, let's go and talk about, I would like to ask you one question. We're talking about negotiation, we're talking about, well, women in international trade, but do you think that there are really differences between women and men in the practice of international negotiation? Yes No? Maybe I can see faces. Okay. There are many starting opinions, okay, but what really matters is your opinion, your opinion. After this webinar, you will have your opinion, but with based in real reality, okay, not just a made opinion. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. Which are the main requirements in international negotiation? There are two mainly. One is the adaptability, and the other one is the satisfaction, the win-to-win, okay? The Japanese buyer is not going to buy you from the other side of the world if he's not going to have a satisfaction, you know, he's not going to win, he's going to have a win-to-win, okay? The adaptability, why adaptability? Because it's not the same to sell your products or services to another person with the same culture than you, that to go abroad and to try to sell your products to another. You have to have you have to adapt your offer to cultural behaviors, okay? So for that, what do you need? You need a lot of emotional sensitivity, okay? You will have big quantities of emotional sensitivity to be adaptable to different cultures. Regarding satisfaction, for that win-to-win, what do you need? You need a lot of imagination and creativity. Okay, emotional sensitivity and imagination and creativity. I think these two requirements, these two qualities are mainly and basics of women. Don't you think that? Okay. There are other intrinsic capabilities of women, which is passion, okay, which is vision. We are very, you know, we are always very, our curiosity, our pioneering spirit, always very innovative, and our tenacity is how we get the customer, you know, to join us in our project, okay? Well, these are intrinsic capabilities of women that they are very important for international trade, okay? Because they are very, very important to get this business done internationally, okay? This international trade. Intrinsic capabilities from women. Which other favorable features that we have women for international trade? Okay, we watch and we listen at the same time. We are patient and persistent. We accept difference between people. We are very open-minded, more than men, okay? We are expert at building trust relationships, okay, with our emotional sensitivity. There goes Barbara. You are an expert building trust relationships, okay? You are a clear example. We adapt to foreign countries and cultures. We are more open-minded, as we are saying. And we are more open to different practices and methods to meet people with different needs, okay? These are favorable features that we have for international trade. But at the big moment, what do we have to do? When we go to negotiate internationally, we have to think that people have different styles regarding their culture, and of course, regarding why not, regarding their gender. So these different styles for cultural styles and gender, and women and men gender styles, we have to know beforehand we go to travel, we are going to have a negotiation internationally. These are some identifications for women. Sorry, for men, here's the symbol, sorry for men. I was just looking up, this is the symbol of men, what is, okay. So what are the characteristics of men? Normally, the style of men is a competitive style, okay? Why is that style competitive in comparison with women? Because they want to reach an agreement as quickly and as efficiently as possible. They go straight on to the order, to get an order, okay? Minimum conversation, okay, until it's for the negotiation. Before starting, well, if they have to need information, well, they will learn about the status of the professional status of the other person, okay? And also they will show off their professional status. Not normally ours. For example, me, I didn't even say that I have a master's degree in international trade, that I have a law degree. I have, well, no, not in the beginning, not in the beginning, okay? Yes, well, they think that they give weight to people by their position. Well, I've been working in a company with more than 4,000 employees. I'm at best, and my best friend was the gardener because he came to my office to feed my plants. But in the end, well, he was a very good, important person from the family, from the owners of the company. So in the end, it helped me the way to the owners of the company. But it was not my intention, you know. I could have been friend with all the directors or so on, but it was a friend of the gardener because, well, he was an old man who was feeding my plants every Friday, and it was, you know, he cheered me up, you know, with very nice conversation. Well, we are different, okay? Men, okay, they consider only successful the approach to the customer if he's going to achieve the order. If not, well, he doesn't consider that it has been a successful meeting, for example. The satisfaction of interests is just only thinking about his own interest, which is to place the order. Okay, and the end of the negotiation, well, it's just, as we say, it's just only for the future agreements, okay? But what about women? What about women? Women are just the opposite, the opposite. First of all, we want to know the other party before we start trading. Okay, we don't consider, you know, when we go to a meeting, we don't consider, we consider it rude to go straight on to the order, you know, to sell our products or services. We want to have a conversation regarding family or regarding the weather or regarding, you know, to know more about that person. For us, as I was saying regarding the gardener, people's job is less important than your relationship with them. Okay, the important is the relationship with these people. Okay. You consider that the time invested in establishing a better relationship is time well spent, okay? Even if you don't get the order at that very right moment, okay? And you want the other party to feel good, okay? After the negotiation is finished. So it's what we were talking, you know, international trade is getting long-term relationship based in trust, okay? So I think women, we are very, I mean, we have lots of intrinsic capabilities, you know, that are very good for international trade. And our style is more relationship, okay, focused instead of competitive, okay? We are more relationship focused, which is very important. This because international trade is based on that, okay? In growing trustful relationships. If not, the Japanese buyer is not going to buy you from the other side of the world. He will buy to his neighbor. Is not that right? Okay. So yes, and yes, that's it. The last one that says long term. We consider long term relationship more important than to sell the product or the service in that right moment. Okay, of course it is important, but we are thinking about a long relationship, which is very good for international trade. How to we have seen these two different generalized talking, okay, different styles, competitive and relationship based in trustful long-term relationships. When you are negotiating, okay, how do you have to behave if you are with your counterpart has a competitive style? Okay, well, just summarizing the negotiation phases, we can divide it between three. Okay, in a very summarized way. First of all, is the exchange of information. Okay, the buyer is asking you about, well, you are explaining about your company, and the buyer is explaining about his company. Okay, how can you act if there's a competitive style counterpart? Well, if it's a competitive, first of all, what you should do that I haven't done? You have to present your credentials, okay, to say, well, I'm the director of this, I have the responsibility of this, and so on, okay? Because that person wants to know your status professionally, okay? And also what you have to do here with a competitive style counterpart, let him speak, okay? As much as he shows off, as much as he says, much more information you are going to get for what? For the second phase, okay? To offer, to present your offer, okay? He will give you a lot of information to present your offer, okay? He will tell you what are his needs, okay? So it's very important. If you are with a person with a competitive style, at that stage, what you should do? Go straight to present your offer. Don't go round and round because this person is going to get nervous, okay? And at the final phase, the agreement, the very important moment when it's going to sign, to place the order. Well, first of all, of course, you have to tell this person that you are going to help this person to succeed in his business, okay? That you are going to help to grow his business, okay? And of course, well, I normally use a little bit of humor, sense of humor at this stage because it's important, to relax a little bit. Okay, the tension, vale? Okay, but all these tips you will find in the ebook that Barbara said that she met me because of that. Okay, I will let you know then later on. But I have put in like a little flower the most important tips for you to go abroad, to go internationally. What you have to do, first of all, the first tip is to prepare and plan the negotiation. All this with intelligence, competitive intelligence. What it means to use, well, to prepare, well, which are going to be the tariff rates that you have to pay, which are you have to study the distribution channels of that country. You have to study all the important information to have all the negotiation meeting prepared, okay, with all the prices, with all the Incoterms, even the promotional material that you could help him if he place you the order, okay? Everything has to be, first of all, that you can do it by a competitive intelligence with your computer. I mean, before, with market research, with all the reports, you can do it before you leave the country. Second, of course, you have to know the protocol rules. Okay, if you go to Japan, you must know, how to present your business card. Okay, it's very important. It will give you lots of a safe security in the meeting. Also, the third one, well, you are going to have lots of uncertainty. Uncertainty. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty in the meeting, but calm down, not to worry, because the same is going to be for the counterpart, because you are going to be two people from different cultures, and the same is going to happen for both sides, okay? So not to worry about it. Be patient, okay? Because, it is related with the 5 tip. It's important to know the decision-making process, okay? So that's why you have to be very patient, because normally the person that you are going to talk is not like in Canada that they make the decision so directly and so on. Your counterpart is going to have the responsibility to take the decision. Normally in other countries, like for example, Japan, is very hierarchic, and also Mexico, and there are different countries that the making the decision-making process is a little bit longer than it could be in Canada, in Northern Europe countries, okay? Or United States, for example, okay? And also, very important, the second one, the last one, that is the ability to develop relationship with people from other cultures, the empathy and the knowledge of interculturality issues are going to be of a lot of help for having a very, very, very good meeting when you are going to negotiate internationally. Okay. Well, we've been talking about everything very positive and lots of tips and everything, but I've been searching, I've been watching through my experience and the experience of other women in international trade, that we also make very common mistakes for being women, because we have some points of view different, but they are very easy to correct. Well, maybe you agree or disagree, but it's my point of view of 20 years going abroad. Okay, the first one that I personally did when I was young, when I started, to adopt a negotiating style that does not show what you are like. For example, I always thought that to negotiate you have to uh, pretend a competitive style because I've learned from men. So I thought that I had to be very competitive, very serious, very right to the point, very aggressive in my negotiating style. Well, we are talking about making relationships long term and based in trust. Okay, if you pretend to be something, look at me. Could I be, hard and strong and aggressive? No, it doesn't match it at all. So if you try to pretend something that you are not, you are going, you are not going to find this trust. Okay, so be yourself. Always be natural. Okay, the best, but the best that you can be. Okay, of course. Okay. Another mistake, do not see a situation as an opportunity to negotiate. Sometimes, we don't see as men are so aggressive, so competitive in this way, they are looking for opportunities to negotiate. Sometimes we forget about this, okay? So we have to think that almost everything is negotiable if you see it that way, okay? Mistake number 3, well, I've just put a few of them here, okay? To address the negotiation too personally. What has happened? I've been working with countries from Russia, from all these Eastern European countries, which the negotiators are very strong, very competitive, very aggressive. And sometimes, for example, I remember my importer from Croatia, okay, who was really, I had lots of, I used to export full trucks weekly, big quantities to Croatia, big quantities. But sometimes there were problems with the products. So I had to go there and to negotiate with that person. We quarreled a lot. And he was in the way that every time that I went to negotiate with him, he was like, not shouting, but with the voice quite high. And I always thinking, okay, well, what I have done. But please, you have to think that it's not normally men or competitive men, let's say this kind of style men, okay, normally they get angry, but not angry with you. Okay, don't take it personally. Okay, they get angry because it's maybe their character or whatever. Okay, and what happens with women? That normally women would think, okay, it's because of me. Don't take it personally. Okay, normally, the problem is because of the product, the quality department, the marketing department. Maybe it's your company. He's angry with your company, but not with you at that moment. Okay. There in this ebook, I write lots of tips. For example, as if you were how to get out of the this meeting, thinking that you are negotiating for another person, like from a friend, or going out of the, well, there are different tips, okay, that you can find in this book that is in English too. Another mistake, for example, be inflexible. I told you, that I'm very, well, I prepare too much normally the meetings, and sometimes, I'm so unflexible that I lose possibilities, for example, and you don't have to be so strict, so rigid, okay? For example, sometimes I go with the idea that this person needs one product because I've been doing the market research and I know that it is the product that is more highly demanded in that country and this company and for these distribution channels and so on, so on, so on. But then, he's telling me that he needs another thing, okay? So be open-minded and take the rest of the catalog with you or the rest of possibilities with you to the negotiate to the meetings, okay? Be too empathetic. For example, we have said that women, we are very empathetic, but not be too much, okay? With my unit, my product unit, which is gender and international trade, because I'm very empathetic with the matter. Well, I give lots of things for free, but we have to think, that we are here on business, okay? So don't be too empathetic, okay? Don't give too many things for free. okay? You don't have to lose your own interest. Uh, Lots of people in my workshops, they ask me, lots of girls, they ask me, can we say no? Of course you can say no, okay? Always if it is firmly, if it's credible and it's in a polite way, why not? You can say no. Okay, if you see that it is not going to happen, this order or this relationship is not going to happen, okay, you can say no. To take everything personally, as I said before, or something very similar, be frustrated by macho realities. Okay, we've been working very hard for going to that country. If someone says something wrong to us, don't be offended. Okay, don't get angry because you are there for working. Okay, to forget, don't waste time on this and focus in your needs, your business. And well, that's one, the mistake number 10, okay, to be afraid to break the rules. Please note that in international trade, there are no rules at all, but just only one. Never lie, but because we are making relationships building up by trustful, okay, by trust. Well, all these things you can see in my ebook, okay, in English. You can have it. It's very cheap. You can find it in Amazon, okay, because I use it as a promotional tool, not something for selling, okay. And regarding, well, let's go to interculturality. We've been going through negotiation, and now we are going to, because we have seen also the importance not only the negotiation styles when you go abroad, but also that is very important to be aware of the interculturality differences, okay, between your country and the other country that you are going to visit. Well, we have said, even though that women will have high capacity to develop personal relationships, okay, with people from other cultures, okay? So it's a very big value, added value that we have. But nevertheless, it's very important to learn beforehand, okay, before your business trips, all the differences, okay? Also, for not only, also when you are going to be there, and but not only at the negotiation time, but in your free time and personal contact. All of this, well, I just launched another ebook that is interculturality from the gender point of view, okay? Because I found tools that you can find that they write a lot regarding intercultural issues before you go abroad. For example, you can see this in Canada is a very good one. I think it's the best. The Global Affairs Canada in Country Insights. You can go to different countries and you will see the opinion of a Canadian person who goes to this country about all the cultural differences, and also from a local person from that country, his or she points of view. But what happens that there's very little regarding gender, and if interculturality differences are important for everybody in international trade, we have another difference that is of women. We must know our intercultural our intercounterpart, his point of view for women inside of his country, and what do they think about women, professional women that go to have a meeting with them. Okay, it's very important, and this nobody has written about it yet. But well, I have wrote it in Spanish. If you would be interested, well, I will write it in English too. Okay, but I think it is very important. Okay, and nobody has done this investigation yet. And thank goodness that I've been, you know, for in so many countries that I've been writing about all these issues in an ebook. Okay, and I have written about this issue. Well, the difference between in Arabic countries, in Latin America, in European countries, in all of them. Not only, I mean, about the way of clothes, the clothes that we have to wear, regarding, you know, which presents we have to bring with us, because some countries, you know, the protocol, there is a big protocol of giving presents before you start the negotiation, to start you start to negotiate, and so on. All of this information, it is in this ebook of interculturality from the point of view of gender, which is very important for all of us, all of women, okay, because we have the intercultural issue, and also what do they think about women, okay, and if we go there, how are they going to treat us, and how do we have to act, okay, not only with clothes and giving the presents and the protocol, but also how we have to act, okay. As a conclusion of all of my ebook, I can say that we are, well, as I said before, women, normally we are very adaptable to foreign countries and cultures, okay? But it's very important to learn before the protocol rules and cultural aspects of the counterpart, because the chances of success will increase proportionally to your knowledge, okay, of all these issues. And well, you have to think that in many countries, the main role of a woman is at home, okay? And the concept of a professional woman is very unusual. But we have to uh, think that normally they are the concept of women, for professional women, for these countries, or for this kind of potential customer that we could have to make the meeting. The professional woman is like a third sex. It's not man, it's not woman, but the professional woman are like a third sex. So normally they are shocked by us when we travel abroad, you know, and saying, well, what is this woman coming from so far away to visit us? You know, she must be very with very high responsibilities in the country, you know. So we are recognized. We are in these countries, like in Asian countries, like in African countries, in many countries, you know, we are considered like third sex. So take advantage of this situation, because they will be completely shocked when you will arrive there. Okay, and they will think that you have lots of responsibilities. Okay. Well, as you can see, in Arabic culture, well, in Arabia, there are lots of countries. There are many countries with different women status varies. Okay, but please think that in all of them, the man can marry up to 4 women. Okay, so there are big differences. Okay, there are more liberal countries, and the recommendations is to show credentials. And we will say from in the beginning. Okay, show your credentials. Haggle. You have to haggle hard, because if not, is it an insult? It's like you know, you are no, you must haggle with them, and of course you have to be very polite and to respect their religion and all their culture. Okay. There are differences in the book. You can find difference between Saudi Arabia and Israel, how you have to react in each country in the negotiation moment. Well, that they don't trust. For example, there are people, they don't trust people in a hurry, okay? Because it is that you only want money, okay? So, and not a personal relationship, okay? So as you can see, you know, the Arabic culture could be very good for us, for women, okay, to work. Asian culture, okay? It can be an advantage to be a woman, okay? Because they can be shocked about it. Latin America, well, you have to demonstrate a professional rank by age and by title, because even that they are very polite with women, maybe you have to prove your status, okay, your rank, and that you have to make clear that you are able to take the decision, okay, you are responsible of making the decision, okay, so that's why you have gone all around that until that country. General advice: prepare, and prepare. Okay, because your interlocutor has already done so. Okay, it's very important. So you can all this information you can also have in this ebook. It's in Spanish there. And the sentence that I follow for this is that when two speak two hearts and two brains, okay? So it's like this. I think negotiation in international trade is like this. Well, going now, we have finished one part, and now we are going to the second part, that is international marketing.
Sorry, Teresa, we only have 5 minutes left.
Okay, so I'm going to Yes.
And I know that there's questions. So do you want to take questions? I'm just
Okay.
saying, actually, we only have 3 minutes left. So
Okay.
there is some questions in the chat box. So my preference is maybe we have to do a second part to this, but we should go to the questions.
Okay. So we can do the yes, another webinar with all, because there's a lot of content yet.
Right, of course.
Okay.
But
I will, so I will stop in here, okay, to go to the
let's
chat.
go, yes, let's go to the questions because I think there was some good ones. Let's open it up. So how do I put it on the side, Alicia?
You just click the chat button there. Just
I
double.
did, and it comes in the middle. How do I get it on the side?
Um, I'll just read some of them.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, never mind, got it. Whoops.
I
Oh.
like very much these questions, yes. They
You
are
just-
Linda, no?
Yes. So from Linda, is there a specific reason why women are not participating in trade? What are the obstacles? Is it a size? Is it type of business, industry focus? Anything that you can answer there?
Yes, of course, of course. Very good question.
Okay,
Because
hang on. I actually sort of wrote the question several times because I'm trying to write and listen at the same time. But I think that bottom line, Teresa, I mean, you did answer why women in general don't participate in international trade. But I'm curious, of the women who are participating in trade, what are the obstacles? What is preventing them from really pushing forward? Is it the type of industry that they're focused in? Is it the size of their company? Is it a cultural thing? I mean, I'm trying to get a sense because
okay.
that's what I do, but interestingly, I tend not to work with women. They don't seem to be, you're right, they're not out there looking for help. So I'm trying to understand why.
Yeah. For me, the basic problems, the basic obstacles are regarding, I mean, cultural obstacles are the maternity. The maternity is very important for us. And also the stereotypes of women in international trade. Okay, we are, so for example, I was last weekend I was with some friends, you know, and they're working in international trade, and they are very open-minded and everything, and they were saying to me, you know, that they didn't think that it was a good profession for their daughters. Okay, because they think, you know, that traveling and much
Teresa, soy Latina. My mom, when I told her that that's what I wanted to do, she's like, "Oh my God! And how are you going to get married and have kids?" And I'm like, "Really?"
It is the
I get it.
Yeah, the stereotypes. I think it is the main obstacle for us. So, but with this webinar, I have just proof that it's just the opposite. That we have, because of our characteristics of gender, you know, it's just our, you know, it's just our natural. I think it is our natural profession. Okay, so this is one thing. The other thing, of course, we work in very small company. I mean, normally, if we are owners of a company and we want to internationalize our products or services, well, what we are in micro SMEs, okay? So it is more difficult. And also, I understand, you know, that's why we need lots of help. And this, very important, the networking for all of us, because men they have their networking built up for many centuries, but we are starting there. So networking is very important. It's very important, you know, to access to public procurement, to private procurement. The networking that the platforms and the networking is very important for all of us. I think this could help us a lot.
Do you think that there will be a generational difference? So I work a lot with startups, and all the 20 somethings and 30 somethings, they're all starting digital companies. So I think their companies are born global, number one. And two, do you think that the pandemic, what I have noticed is a lot of people have completely pivoted to digital, particularly those in service. to digital, do you think that that will help accelerate the mindset? Because I agree with you that there's a mindset, that one of the obstacles is a mindset obstacle, particularly for women. Like, oh my God, how am I going to get this done? I'm like, really? I mean, obviously, I don't see a problem doing international work. I actually get upset when people don't think about it. Um, so I guess my question is, how do you think that the pandemic will affect the ability and the drive for people to shift that mindset?
Uh, I agree absolutely, Linda, with you. All the digitalization, all the technological is helping us a lot. It was, is in all my workshops, I was telling all women how all the technology is helping us, because we can. I mean, I've been working from the from the doctor, with my I've been in the park with the children, doing opening new markets like Colombia. I remember, opening with Almacenes Éxito, starting working in Colombia, just in the park with the children, with the mobile. I've been, at the doctor with the children. I mean, all the technology is helping us so much. I was just before the workshop telling women, about that. But now I think with the pandemic, we have all learned much more than ever, about the possibilities that all these tools make. For example, Barbara and me, we know each other because of LinkedIn. Okay, it's very, very important, very important. Due to LinkedIn, I've been working in Costa Rica, in Cuba, in Paraguay. I've been doing lots of things, due to LinkedIn. What I've done is I started with my ebooks, and what did I do? Well, for promoting these ebooks, I started, with my blog. I started a blog, so I promote my ebooks in my blog, and in my blog I was investigating all the information regarding women and international trade and put it in the blog. The blog I connect it to LinkedIn, so all my network, they know everything that I'm doing, and is how I started, from nothing to being working now with the Ministry of Equality and the Ministry of Commerce, just because of this, just because of the technology from my desk. It's amazing what we can do. And I've been, selling my programs, let's say, yeah, as I said, in Latin America, in many countries. Okay, so it's amazing. It's perfect what you are doing. And now after the pandemic, I mean, now we know that we have to use it. And also, I mean, I'm with all of you talking about this, from my chair, from my office, So, and just we can think, and we are connected from different parts of the world.
So thank you, Teresa. I want to move this along, and I need to mention a few things before we lose everyone on the site, on this webinar. So I just want to mention a few things. Number one is part of what Grow Your Biz is establishing is more international trade. So thank you, Linda, for bringing that question up. And I obviously have my own reasons why I think less women are in international trade. But we do have Grow Your Biz has an affiliation with OIT, which is the Organization of Women in International Trade. And that is important to know that for every Grow Your Biz member, you can get a membership, a one-year membership for $50. And it is virtual. It allows you to be part of what they're doing. Head office of ITC is where OIT first started. And they're always putting out things on international trade. And so I think it would be really worthwhile for you to take a look at that organization. As I said, Grow Your Biz is a part of it. The other organization that Teresa mentioned was We Connect International, which is a certification where you have to own 51% of your business managed and controlled. In Canada, our similar organization is called We Be Canada. Again, Grow Your Biz is a part of that. And your chairs will give you that information, or Marg and I can offer that information to you specifically. It's interesting, Linda is part of a board where her chair is Leanne Hackman-Carty, who was the international president of OIT for many years. So there's a lot of affiliation with both OIT, with We Be Canada, and with We Connect International. And so it's worth that taking a look at what does that certification program do for you. The other thing that I want to mention, and again, Teresa talked about what does Canada offer, because I'm guessing that most of us in here, except for you, Linda, are Canadian, is that to really, in Canada, it's Global Affairs Canada, and under Global Affairs Canada is what is called our TCS, our Trade Commissioner Services. And it is important that you as a taxpayer are paying for that service. So that means that before you go into a country, before you want to actually say, I want to do trade, I want to offer my products to a different country, there is always a TCS officer there that they do the marketing for you. You have to find out what it is that you want to do, because one of the barriers to international trade is the cost. And believe me, I've worked in, I remember going into Chile in 2000. I invested $90,000. You have to understand that there is a cost, a huge cost. I've worked in Rwanda, Afghanistan, Uganda. I've worked in 45 different countries. So I know that there is a cost, but do not discourage that, because there are services that can help you, including underneath Global Affairs Canada is TCS, as well as the BW, Business Women in International Trade, EDC, which is Export Development Canada. So we have a lot to offer in Canada that helps women in international trade. And I just want to make sure you know that. And part of doing international trade, and again, Teresa mentioned this, and I just want to emphasize it, is that each of you actually has to do your own capability statement. What is your capability? And that does deal with everything from not only your products and services, but your ability. And I think that's where COVID-19 is actually helping us and I don't mean that in a negative way or a sadistic way. It's just that we are now doing more internationally by virtual. So we would not have had this ability to have Teresa come on if we in Grow Your Biz had already started doing virtual boards. So we now have boards with people from Jordan, Guatemala, Spain, Netherlands, and we're mixing everybody up. We're mixing everyone up. That's how I got Linda for Puerto Rico, right? So it's important that you might want to start looking at what are the international boards that I could be a part of, and sometimes with a person that's already a member and wants to look at what. And I'm talking to you, Kavita, because you're not a member yet, and I'm just using you as an example. Is you might want to say, what is it that I want to do internationally, and is there a global board that I can be a part of? So take the opportunity. If you are a member, we are starting on July the 22nd, and I believe July 24th, 2 different time zones, to actually have what we're calling a summer sizzle. It's not a formal meeting, but it is an opportunity for you to get to meet other women that are part of Grow Your Biz, to find out what is that person doing in the UK? What are they doing? And so all you have to do is go to our website. We'll put all of this, we'll actually give you a link. Alicia, now I'm passing to Alicia. Alicia will give you a link to this webinar that you've just watched, as well as she will provide you with a link to only if you're a member. This is only for GYB members. Sorry, ladies, for those of you who aren't members, but it is, we don't have potential members, but it is an opportunity for Grow Your Biz members to connect with other Grow Your Biz members and know what they're about. So I think that's really important. And then I think that you, everybody though can have can get a copy of our Grow Your Biz Tips for Tough Times. And it will have a lot of information. I guess this is our 13th week that we've done one, and it comes out on either Friday it'll be Friday or Saturday, the weekend. And just to make sure that you know what's going on, because on there will be some upcoming presentations. And one of our founding and developing partners, just again, this is for Canada only, but one of our founding and developing partners is BMO, Bank of Montreal. And the announcement this month, actually, the announcement will be made, and Grow Your Biz will be a part of it, is there will be a BMO grant that you can apply for $10,000 to help your business. And it's really to help people in their COVID. So make sure you read the Tips for Tough Times. Make sure you stay connected with Grow Your Biz, and you'll find out a lot of these opportunities. So having said that, I want to thank Teresa again. Teresa, you've got her email. You're you know, part of being global is, and I know there was a bit of a language barrier for you, Spanish to English, English to Spanish, but your slides were phenomenal. Your slides were excellent. I thank you for them. And again, you know, if we're thinking about international, and believe me, when I went to Afghanistan, I don't know Farsi. I didn't know how to speak any of the languages. When I was in Uganda, etc., I can't speak half of the languages. So I always had difficulty making sure that I understood what they were actually saying. And sometimes my biggest lesson, and I'll just end with this one, my biggest lesson, when I would ask, do you understand? They'd go, yes, yes, yes. But yes, yes, yes did not necessarily mean that they understood or agreed. It just meant, yes, 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 I heard you. So it's one of those cultural barriers that it's like you do need to do your homework and understand that there is a cost to international trade, but believe me, it is worth it. And Teresa, I know your slides will be shared, your book. Let's promote your book on Amazon. Is there a cost? I can't remember.
$9.
Ah, if we can't afford $9, then who can, right? So great. And we'll make sure we get that link to Amazon for your book. And thank you. I just want to end. I don't know who Lilia is, Melanie or Kathy. Could you just introduce yourselves really quickly? I only know what Kay Logan because she gave us her introduction. Lilia, who are you?
Hello,
Hello.
I'm from Kyiv, I'm from Ukraine, and I'm a gender expert assistant in Cuties project. And I'm very glad to be present here at your webinar. It was very useful and very interesting. Thank you very much.
Lilia, Grow Your Biz. Grow Your Biz is looking at getting into Ukraine. We did a presentation there about a year ago. We have not followed up, but let's you and I talk, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Lilia. And Melanie, where are you? Melanie Russell? Where are, I don't know. So we need to get Kathy and Melanie yet. Melanie, can you unmute yourself? Or is she gone?
Melanie is from Calix Valuations, but I don't know where she's from.
Oh, I know where she's from. She's from Toronto. Thank you, Melanie. Kathy, where are you from?
Hi, thank you everyone. I live in Vancouver. I'm originally from Iran and I'm planning to start my business pretty soon. That's why I'm here.
Kathy, you need to know about our 1 hour free trials. So can we connect after together? You've got my email, you know who I am. And Melanie, I already know who she is, and that's great. Lilia, thank you so much for joining us. And once again, Teresa, thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate it. And let's talk offline. Maybe we can have a Zoom call together. And Teresa, I look forward to the second part because I know this was actually probably a 2 hour presentation and we have lots of questions. And Debbie, did you have a question? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.